Hello everyone, what is up? It's me, Ewan from What Culture Comics, again joined as always by Zoe.
Always
to talk to you about some comics-based news and some movie comics-based news, because we had some really cool announcements come out yesterday. Well, one announcement and then one little Reddit fan theory that is to do with the Joker movie, which is quite interesting. I'll start off with the first thing, and that is that Hailee Steinfeld has been cast as Kate Bishop in the new Hawkeye Disney Plus TV show, which honestly is just like perfect casting.
I literally, when it came out, I was like, I tried to think of someone I would prefer, and I sat there for 10 minutes just shaking my head.
Yeah.
Just like, no one else will do.
Obviously, she was she kind of had a breakout role as Maddie Ross in True Grit, the remake, and then she was in Bumblebee last year, which again is really, really good. I recommend you guys all check that out because it's a genuinely very good Transformers movie, and it's kind of interesting how that happens as soon as you get rid of Michael Bay from the equation. But whatever, I won't cast any more shade unless it's absolutely necessary. But yeah, this is really, really cool news. Obviously, she was also Spider-Gwen in Spider-Verse last year as well, so more superhero stuff for the Steinfeldster. And yeah, it's really cool because this new Hawkeye show is being based on the Matt Fraction, David Ajar comics, which are my favorite Marvel books the last decade. And the only question now is who's going to play Pizza Dog? I have no idea. I was being serious. Who would you suggest for Pizza Dog?
The cutest damn dog.
Yeah, exactly. You'd find maybe a cross between Marley and Me. If you were going to go a little bit left field and move away from the comic, maybe a Hooch, a Turner and Hooch, maybe. Maybe. I'm out there. Different pizza dogs. I'd be fine with that as long as they keep the authentic, he likes eating pizza and his name is Lucky. That is the main thing that I really want from there. But yeah, Hawkeye is slated to release the end of 2021, which is so long away. I don't know if I can wait any longer. But yeah, Jeremy Renner is going insane in the meantime. I mean, between the Jeremy Renner app absolutely collapsing and him releasing his own outdoorsman store where he's selling frontiersman bear repellent spray.
He's living the life
legitimately
that we were living.
And honestly, I'm kind of thankful he's having his midlife crisis in front of all of us, but at the same time, Marvel, please let him play Hawkeye again because he's just his brain's leaking out of his ear at the moment.
Your boy needs Hawkeye.
Yeah.
He truly has to be Hawkeye in order to function.
Maybe this is him actually preparing it, because obviously Clint in the comics, when he kind of meets Kate, his life's just kind of everywhere. So, maybe he's just living
I made an app?
Yes.
Am I Hawkeye now?
Exactly. That's where we're going from now. But yeah, we'll move on to the next story, which is the last movie story today, and that's to do with the Joker. And obviously that comes out next month. We're all very excited, maybe a little bit nervous, but whatever. There was a Reddit rumor that was posted yesterday about how it could potentially link to the DC Extended Universe, which is very, very weird given that, most of the chatter coming out of Joker so far has been that Warner Brothers are keen to make an Elseworlds-style movie, divesting from their main franchise, which has obviously seen crap after mega crap come out of the way. Sorry for people who like Zack Snyder, I'm not a fan. But anyway, according to this Reddit rumor, there is basically a scene in the Joker trailer where you notice that him and his posse are basically, his insane clown posse, as it were, are attacking that theater. And you see a poster for 1981's Excalibur on the movie theater. And then someone has pointed out that in Batman v Superman, when you have the flashback to when Wayne's parents get murdered, there is a similar poster on display there. Now, obviously, I think, I don't think it's going to, cross over into the DCEU, but it's an interesting thing, and maybe there is an argument to be had that potentially Warner Brothers are leaving the door open for that kind of thing to happen as well, because we still don't know how Matt Reeves' The Batman actually intersects with the DCEU either.
Yeah, I would say it's sort of like with Deadpool, where they've said a couple times, it's not in the MCU, but there's still a chance that they'll sort of just slink it back in when they get a chance. I think it's more interesting to have this happen in a universe where it could link back, but it doesn't necessarily. So you're like, it would be possible. It's not just in some crazy clown-based universe.
Yeah, someone did say in that Reddit thread that maybe you could have the argument, we have the multiple Jokers theory going around at the moment. We have 3 Jokers coming out. I think either, that's probably going to be next year now, given how many Jeff Johns books get delayed, but whatever. And maybe, there's an argument to be had that maybe Joaquin Phoenix's Joker is actually the first Joker, and then Jared Leto is the wannabe clown prince who's looking at his old boy in the 70s and 80s and is going, I'm that cool, and then he's just taking up the reins, he's got a mad grill and, he's making knife angels and having a really bad laugh and having tattoos everywhere.
Kind of love that.
I'm still not over Suicide Squad.
One day.
Yeah, do you want to tell us our comics-based news today, though, Zoe?
We've got some big comic news today. Usually we have big comic news, but this is some big comic news because it's about the next big event in Marvel.
Another event? Marvel? Agads! Who would have thought it?
We haven't even finished Absolute Carnage yet, but we're hitting the next one. Essentially, they've released a bunch of little teaser trailers for sort of what we have to expect. It should be coming out December the 26th, so we do have a long time to wait. We also have a lot of stuff sort of in the interim because we still need to finish Absolute Carnage. So I'm very excited. Shall I go through all of them? Because there are 6.
I will say though, if Marvel expect me to go out of the house on Boxing Day, that is just mental. That's not happening.
I'm gonna get it mailed.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, what's the kind of, because I've been getting little tidbits coming through over the weeks. I saw today there was a man just standing with his legs and his butt out, and I was kind of just like, okay, all the Marvel characters look really, really stunned here. So either he's really impressive, or he's got some sort of historical significance to do with how he's come back.
Well, the theories are that he is in fact Korvac, which is... I see.
There we go.
I see you're a fan.
I know about Korvac.
Especially interesting. The trailer for that one is called A Galactic Threat, which would make sense because Korvac can use Galactus' powers. I think canonically he can still, but if not, his powers still do enable him to. I don't know why.
Is this spinning out of Marvel Comics 1000?
So there is one that links to the Masked Raider, which would be especially interesting because obviously I think a lot of people aren't really aware of him until obviously Marvel 1000, where they were like, oh, this guy's important. We also have one that should show Hulkling, who is sort of an unconventional fan favorite. I think he should have a really important part in it because there's one specific teaser that shows just a white silhouette of him. So I'm very, very excited for it. There seems to be a lot of characters. There's one death that's been...
I was gonna say, I remember seeing one teaser where there was someone with the old chalk outline. I was getting, was it Original Sin when we had Uatu who was murdered and we had to figure out who killed him? I'm kind of getting some flashbacks towards
it seems down that line because we also have Immediately It's Gone. We have a Fantastic Four one, which has someone covered with a white sheet while they all look so horrified. So I'm excited to see either is someone important dead. Notably, none of these teaser trailers have had Thor, and we did have Jane Foster in that one as Valkyrie there, and it's like, the Avengers are there, Fantastic Four are there, where's Thor?
You think the Odinson's dead?
I think he's dead again. I think it's time
God, jeez.
For your boy to go down.
Yeah, this is weird. On one hand, I'm kind of like, I can't be dealing with another Marvel event because even though both War of the Realms and Absolute Carnage so far has been fantastic, I'm also just kind of like, Marvel, remember when you said that you were going to slow down the old events and now you're just putting more out there all the time, and I'm just kind of like, I could do with just a year of just none of it, maybe?
The smart thing they've done, and I hope they follow this sort of formula a bit more, is with Absolute Carnage, obviously the tie-ins weren't part of people's main stories, so you could read the tie-ins and you could read the regular comic, but if you wanted to just read Spider-Man and just sort of back away from the event for a while, you could also do that. So I think if they managed to do that, it would be a really clever way to do it, because obviously then, if you need a time to just sort of, drink a cup of tea, not do an event, not have anyone die, you can do that. If you want to see everyone go wild, maybe die, it's time.
Do we have any idea who might be helming this new event? Because this is just Marvel incoming. I still just see all these different things, all these different images incoming in my direction, but I have no idea who's helming it. Is Ewing involved at all? Because I saw a Daredevil, a glimpse of Daredevil in one of the teasers as well, and I was kind of curious to see if any of that's going to have a role in it. I don't know why you would know necessarily, because all we had is these images so far. But
Thus far, the teasers have been done by several different artists, which I think is particularly interesting because it does suggest for the tie-ins that we may not be sticking to sort of like one conventional style, which would be interesting artistically, if not sort of thematically for the comic. I'm
going to go out on a limb and say that maybe we'll hear more of this in Marvel Comics 1001. Yes, that is a thing they're doing after Marvel Comics 1000. Don't ask me why, but yeah. Moving from incoming to something that actually has been incoming for the past several months now with Absolute Carnage, because there are some new teasers coming out for the stuff emerging this week, I believe.
I am in fact thoroughly excited about this, although it does slightly go against what I've just said, because The Amazing Spider-Man 30 is the tie-in issue for Absolute Carnage. So I mean, if you're not about the event, it's time to sort of skip one.
And is that being written by Nick Spencer still?
It is indeed.
Right, okay.
But for this one, we had one variant cover, which was particularly interesting, because it featured none other than MJ looking like she was infected by Carnage.
Oh dear.
I know.
That's crazy, because we've already had Miles Morales obviously get symbioted. Carnaged? Symbioted? Symbiote, as they say in the Venom movie trailer. Do you notice that in the film when they dubbed over it so that because everyone was complaining that she said symbiote, but it was actually symbiote?
Well, now I know.
Now you know. But yeah, Mary Jane in a symbiote, I don't believe that's happened before, I'm gonna say, maybe?
Once in the cartoons, and even then it was a bit silly, a bit wacky. It wasn't and like, I'm gonna kill everyone. Also, hi Peter Parker.
Yeah.
What can I say?
Yeah, so is just the cover we have so far?
It's just the cover so far.
Right.
It was done by Shannon Mayer. It's beautiful, and it's also terrifying, because obviously since we haven't really seen it like this in the comics, it's like, will this happen?
Yeah.
Like, because if it happens, it might be one of the biggest things for their like love story, if not the overall story of Spider-Man.
Cool.
I'm just hoping she doesn't die again. I can't have it happen again.
No, I can't, and especially now because I'm getting flashbacks to the 90s cartoon that you mentioned where she dissolved into a water blob of nothingness when she got revealed as a Hydro Man clone, which
Fingers
was
crossed, not
traumatizing. When is that released this week, or is that next week?
It should be next week, if
Cool.
memory serves.
Perfect. Yeah, well, let us know what you think of those stories down in the comments below. Are you down for Haley Steinfeld as Kate Bishop? Are you kind of intrigued by the idea of Batman v Superman and Joker having some sort of link, tenuous though it may be? And what do you think of Marvel Incoming? Are you excited about another event? Who would you like to see write it as well? Because I guess, you know, Ewing's being like really championed as Marvel's big writer at the moment. But yeah, let us know about your thoughts on that in the comments below. And also what you think about Mary Jane potentially getting carnaged or symbioted. And let us know which phrase you prefer as well. As always, please be sure to like, share, and subscribe, and head back on over to whatculture.com/comics for lists, news, and articles like this every day. As always, I've been Ewan. You can follow me on Twitter at EwanRuinThing. And today I've been joined by Zoe.
You can find me at Zemmascal.
We'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.